if you want to skip the guesswork and fast track to your dream data ML role, this is exactly how we help. And we'll design Code to Careers together, and it's a system that we've used to help more than 50 data and ML job seekers land their roles in 3 to 6 months. The highest salary we've helped land is over 300K, and the average increase is 50K. And the offers, just remind you that we got people from startups to medium-sized companies and to big FAANG companies as well. So this is the thing that we go over with all our clients. So whether we decide to work together or not, I hope this is valuable to you, because this is something that we run with all of our clients. So these are the 3 areas that determine how successful and how efficient a job search can be, right? It's not about the hard skills, because I mean you have to have the fundamental skills, of course, but at some point it's not about the hard skills anymore. It's about the 3 things. So the first thing is your position, and basically how you are seen by the right people, how you're seen by the market. And the second thing is your pipeline. So are you able to get a steady flow of opportunity rather than like a call here and there, or and then 3 months without any traction? And makes you think that maybe you just got lucky or you don't really know what is going on. And then the third area that's important is your performance, right? So once you get a steady flow of opportunities, are you able to convert most of them, more than half of them, into an offer? And also after that, are you able to negotiate higher compensation as well? So the whole process is basically you get seen, and you get opportunities, and you get the offers. Okay, great. So the first thing about your positioning, right? So this is the start of your job search. You want to stand out amongst a pile of 300 plus, 500 plus resumes, right? Because a lot of you mentioned that you go on LinkedIn, see a job with 300 plus, and then you just feel like, how the hell am I going to stand out, right? This is a common thing that a lot of us feel. So it's not about hitting all the keywords on your resume. It's about, 1, understanding, handpicking what roles, companies, and industry domain that you're most aligned with. Because the market right now rewards alignment and specificity. And then the second thing is understanding what are some of the things that you quickly need to bridge the gap. Because we're data professionals, right? This field evolves so fast. There's constantly things that we need to upskill and learn. Even Igor and myself, we're still constantly upskilling. But it's very easy to get trapped into the tutorial hell, get trapped into what we call the shiny object syndrome, because there are just simply so many things out there, right? So the key for landing a job is that you can't just be learning for learning's sake, because we don't have all day. A lot of you probably have a job that you have to, dedicate to, right? So then it's about efficiency, right? Understanding what are the exact skills that you need, just enough to pass interviews. So instead of falling into preparing to like a long 2 months, 3 months preparation YouTube tutorial help. And then the last step is making sure that your resume not only passes ATS, but it passes the 6-second recruiter test, so you never get ignored. I think the mistakes that we've seen a lot is that people do keyword stacking, do a lot of keyword stacking in the resume to pass ATS, but actually most of the resumes, if not all resumes that make it to the interview, still get seen by a human eye. So you need to make sure that it's human friendly as well. So this will show you some examples and results at the first stage of the positioning. For example, like Adam said that because of our positioning, and he was able to land a technical assessment really quickly, and he's able to turn them into interviews because his LinkedIn and resume are good and aligned with his ideal role. Here's another example. Sujiva mentioned that before he was stuck on how to brand himself and constantly changing his CV for different roles, but now he feels confident. He have a much clearer vision on the type of roles he's targeting. Here's Phoebe's example. She before she was struggling with kind of if she was going for data analyst, data scientist, data engineer, or BI developer, and that has yielded not a good result for her search. But after working with us, she mentioned that she's much clearer on the strategy and on the exact roles that she should go for. And because of that, she was able to land a couple screens. Great. So now that we fixed positioning, the second step is pipeline, right? So get you from getting ghosted to landing interviews consistently, because what we currently see in the market is spray and praying won't cut it, not in today's market. And what you need is, one, a LinkedIn profile, as very point of what we talk about today, a LinkedIn profile that ranks you high in searches and pulls recruiters directly into your inbox, so you can land interviews in your sleep. And then the second thing is a targeted application strategy that you're not spray and praying, your converts applications to interviews by 5% or more. And then the last thing you need is a networking strategy that does the heavy lifting for you by putting you in front of the right people, the decision makers. Because what we've seen is that referrals are only 7% of the applications, but it makes up for a little bit less than half of the hires. So having the right people in your corner is super, super important. Here's to show you some examples of people consistently landing interviews because they've fixed their positioning. Here's an example from Adam. So he mentioned, after changing his LinkedIn, changing his positioning, he got outreached by an Amazon recruiter. So Ravi was sharing, she changed her headline and she was getting recruiter reaching out, connection acceptance rate up. She changed her profile. She's actually seeing more relevant searches in her job search. So this works the other way as well. Yep, so another client mentioned he noticed that he's getting more views on outreaches from recruiters since the headline change she's made. Sad said he has started hearing back from bigger companies he was targeting, and our advice was helpful in him targeting opportunities. Saravi mentioned getting more roles, and our strategies have helped her land more interviews, excuse me. Rachel mentioned 4 interviews in less than a month with 2 being at Amazon. Amazon seems to love the people that we work with. A lot of them. Yeah. Yeah, so Mark was landing interviews with a smaller company and Meta at the same time. Yeah, Akan landed the interview at DoorDash. Here's just some more examples showing you people who got their positioning right start to land more opportunities consistently. Great. So now, once you're consistently landing interviews, right, you wouldn't want those opportunities to slip away because interviews are precious, right? So the last stage of your job search should be performance. That you should go from a maybe to an F yes, so that you get the offer and you can negotiate more. So, and today, the more targeted preparation you have walking into the interview, the more successful you will be. You want to turn recruiter screens, more than half of them, into the next round. And then you also want to make sure that you have compelling stories, not just on your resume and LinkedIn, but also in how you describe your experience in interviews, so you can show as much seniority as you can. And then making sure that you have the right frameworks to solve technical challenges, either that is under live coding or it's just talking about it in theory. Using the right frameworks, communicating with logic, making sure that you're not, you have ways to cope with stress, or if you get asked unexpected questions, making sure you have frameworks and ways to navigate out of that. And then, when you get to the final round, you will usually have like a culture, a deep dig of like why them, why you, making sure that you have the right stories prepared, making sure that you're speaking in certain ways so that you can stand out from other candidates who made it in the final round, because there's got to be a way that companies differentiate, right? So you need to make sure that you become the undisputable hire. And then, of course, when you perform really well, you have higher leverage to negotiate what you truly deserve with confidence. And then this is to show you some examples of the kind of preparation that will help people do and their feedback for us. So for example, Chan was giving us feedback on him, making it to the next round with the company because of the case study preparation that we help him with. Zachary mentioned he felt really good going about in the next round. The things we worked on, the question that we helped him prepared was exactly the kind of question that he got in his interview. Mark said that our feedback for his presentation helped him deliver a strong performance on the presentation. Yeah, this is Mark as well. So he said, right, this is a really great result from someone. He said that he landed the data science manager role, and his performance was so strong that they offered him a 10% increase on the original offer, plus an additional annual 10% bonus without him even asking. So he didn't even have to negotiate. Like his performance just negotiated for himself, essentially. So this is a great outcome because we talked to a lot of job seekers, and a lot of them say that, I don't feel comfortable negotiating, or like, maybe in this market, I'll be lucky to have a job, right? I'll just take whatever they give me, like, or they say I get lowballed. But actually, even in this market, if you perform the right way, if you perform well, you would ultimately get a higher offer even without negotiating. This is something I definitely would want. So here's another example. Buck landed a senior data scientist offer at Aviva. Before working with us, was looking for a job for over a year. After 3 months of dedicated effort, he finally landed that senior role that he deserved. And if you go to the next page, he mentioned that he not only landed that role, but the role actually represented a 56% pay bump from his role before, and he was able to negotiate for the first time and succeeded. Here's another example of Aman, who was able to negotiate 20 to 30K extra on stocks and a 25K joining bonus. So I know some of you might be working on a visa right now. I used to be as well, so I can feel this very, very deeply because the market right now is very competitive for people on a visa. So this is Irina, who we've recently helped. She's on a visa as well, and she mentioned that she got a machine learning engineer offer, and she had the base increased and stocks as well. So they started their H-1B transfer. So this is to show you that don't lose hope. Even in this competitive market with people on a visa, there's still a way for you to land. Okay. Phoebe was able to land in 100K compared to 76K before. All right. Aaron's able to land a senior role that he wasn't expected. He interviewed for a junior role, but he interviewed so well that they actually offered him like 10K more because of his seniority that he showed in the interview. So yeah, just to summarize, landing your dream job is not an experience problem like we went through. It's all of these areas combined, right? It's your positioning, it's your pipeline, and it's your performance. So everything you need to start is here. So yes, and the reason why that we do coaching for data job seekers is because we've seen that there's an information overload, but actually what we've seen is free information doesn't really work that well. Because if it's enough, right, everyone would have landed a job, everyone would be fit, rich, and fulfilled, right? And we do coaching because we see firsthand how execution requires structure, feedback, and support, and that's why we do exactly what we do.